Hey everyone, my name's Pupsker, and today we're going over the one and only best beginner Warframe, Rhino. Rhino is one of those Warframes that has been in the game for a very long time, and he's always been a personal fan favorite of many, especially for early to mid-game gameplay. He's a strong Warframe which has both damage boosting and really good defensive shielding capabilities, so no matter what you're doing with Rhino, you're probably gonna do pretty well because he is a very good all-around, strong, tanky, nice Warframe. So if you don't have great mods, doesn't matter, his kit will just do everything you'll really need him to do. And that's why I think he's the best early game Warframe to farm. So let's talk about Rhino, how to farm him, go over the abilities, a build, and then just some quick Rhino gameplay. So if you want to start farming Rhino, pretty simply, you can pick up the Rhino main blueprint in the market. You just have to go over, find Rhino, and then purchase the blueprint for 35,000 credits. You can always tick the kind of search boxes here to make it a little easier to find things, hide owned, hide mastered, hide items without blueprints, you know, stuff like that, so that you know which main blueprints of the Warframes you can buy. From there, you will have to farm up three more pieces for Rhino, and that will be on Venus. So this is a pretty simple boss fight overall. Where is it? It is the Jackal boss fight right here, Fossa. We go to base levels. It's not a high level assassination. It's level 6 to 8. So that's why Rhino is a very good early game Warframe, as well as any, I would say, clan Warframe if you get in the game like that, or really good starting Warframe. So you'll have to just farm this node for Rhino. You have to get the systems blueprint, the neuroptics blueprint, and then the chassis blueprint. Once you get all of that, you just simply go to your foundry here, of course, and then you just search in Rhino, right? Build the Rhino neuroptics, chassis, systems, and then build the main Warframe. But of course, I don't have a ton of extras because I don't farm that boss a lot. So that's how you farm Rhino, all things considered. Let's take a quick look at his abilities and why they are so good for anyone just beginning Warframe especially. First off, taking a look at Rhino's passive, emit a shockwave dealing 100 damage after landing from a great height. Nothing amazing, nothing special, but it can do some AoE damage, so it helps a little early game, but later game it's pretty useless. His first ability is a charge. Least useful ability, it just runs forward, knocks enemies out of the way, does some damage to them. Okay, and it builds up a charge combo, but that doesn't matter too much. So his second ability, this is where he really starts shining for new players. His second ability is Iron Skin. Rhino hardens his skin, insulating himself from all damage and gaining pretty much overguard. I believe while you're casting Iron Skin, you might be able to build it up a little bit, or you get, 3 seconds of invulnerability. Sorry, I was confusing him with Ninja. But it is a very good thing to have early game when you're newer to Warframe, you don't quite have mods. The added defense of overguard on Rhino is really good. Your next ability, which is really good for early and mid-game players, is Roar. Damage increase for you and your teammates. It's just really nice to have early game when maybe you don't have all of the mods that you quite need for them. So all things considered, it's really good. His fourth ability, while it is good, it's not the best. It is an AoE stun, essentially, ground pound. You knock enemies into the air, stun them, and you can do damage to them. It does some decent enough damage for lower to mid-game players, so it's nice like that, but it's definitely not going to be like a DPS main ability. Either way, it's still a very nice ability. If you go over some of the tips here, it's like Rhino's immune to damage during charge, cast Rhino charge on enemies that have been stunned for stomp for more damage, right? So you can chain your stuff together. Cast Iron Skin before Rhino charge to increase the blast damage dealt to enemies, right? It has a lot of use your things in conjunction to get big boosts. Cast Rhino charge in quick succession, reduces energy cost and double its damage and range. Iron Skin prevents status effects such as bleed and knockdowns. Iron Skin scales off both ability, strength, and armor mods, and the damage absorbed when cast determines its overguard. Okay, so you can build up a lot of armor and ability strength if you so choose, but that's up to you. I don't really care too much for it. Cast Iron Skin when taking heavy damage to convert more damage into its total overguard. Okay, so it does have a 3-second charge time where all of the damage you start taking in will be turned into Overguard. I wasn't sure if that was still the case, but it seems so. Iron Skin's remaining Overguard total is displayed next to Rhino's health bar. Watch for it when it gets low to recast when it runs out. It is true. Cast Roar when allies are within ability range to ensure they do not miss out on damage increase, of course. And then keep enemies keep enemies affected by Stomp suspended in the air longer with ability duration mods. So overall, he is a strong Warframe, has a good, nice kit, and is just a very easy to play Warframe early game. And that's why it's recommended that he is one of the best early games Warframes. If we look at his ability build now that I've chosen to throw on him, of course, I have more of like an end game build. I have efficiency, duration, not a ton of range, but a lot of strength. I don't have a ton of armor built up. If I wanted him to have stronger Iron Skin, I probably would. I've narrow-minded purely for the duration, Transient Fortitude purely for the strength, Prime Continuity purely for duration. Rolling Guard is always a nice one so that I can just roll out of the way. Streamline for ability efficiency, right? Blind Rage for ability strength. Augur Secrets for ability strength, and then Fleeting Expertise for some efficiency. Not any special build I have here, right? I have Enemy Sense on my radar, and I have Steel Charge right there. I have Arcane Energize and Molt Augmented for even more strength. This is just a basic Rhino build. If you're more early game, just throw on whatever sort of general strength duration mods. I'd throw a couple of those on as you need. And then I would throw on for tankiness a little bit of armor to make his Iron Skin nicer, right? You can always throw on general fiber mods like that for more armor. Amar's Hatred's nice because it gives you armor and ability strength. Carapace also isn't too bad because it gives armor health. If you just want to be more protective, you can always throw on Corrosive Projection up there because it's really nice. But all in all, I would just say throw on whatever you have that works for you. So I like throwing on duration. It's just stuff like Prime Continuity, and then the Augur mods are really nice. Same with ability strength. If you just need it, you can just throw on Intensify and maybe one of the Augur mods. I can't remember exactly which one it is, if I have it here or if I'm just blind, but yeah, you could always throw on that Augur Secrets mod. There it is. And then I don't think you need a ton of efficiency, but a little bit is nice, and range is up to you. You always want to build depending on what you like to use on Rhino. Like, this is my casual build. Nothing super amazing. I don't go hard into one aspect of Rhino. And you can always look at the augment mods for Rhino to see what sort of buffs you can get, right? Ironclad Charge, more armor rating for each enemy hit with your charge, so you can build up your second more. Recast Iron Skin will cause it to detonate, dealing damage. Piercing Roar gains range. Enemies within an AoE are suffered stacks of puncture. Okay, and knockdown. Reinforcing Stomp, right? Iron Skin health is replenished by 1% for each enemy affected. So you just essentially heal back your Iron Skin like that. So there's a lot you can do with him, and you can choose whatever you want. I don't think I have anything helminth onto my Rhino Prime. This is just base Rhino. But hey, if you want to helmet something on, go for it. You can throw on a damage reduction ability if you don't care about Iron Skin. You can do more damage increasing. You can always be a Gloom Boy. Hey, it's up to you. Let's go do some quick Rhino gameplay so you can understand just why Rhino is such a treat of a Warframe, right? We can do some quick Steel Path for a minute or two, just so you can get a good look at how he works. We'll just go straight to Void Mott Survival on Steel Path because, you know, might as well. And then we'll see how strong or how weak we decide Rhino is. Early game, he's amazing and one of the best, easiest frames to get, but you can build him and he can be very strong for late game, which I will show you very quickly, right? I always just like to buff down, throw down my buffs, throw down my roar, right? Iron Skin. Nice thing about Rhino is his ability costs are not super high, so it's always pretty good like that. So now I have a lot of Overguard, I have a lot of General Shield, and I should be just good to go, killing everyone, running around. There's nothing big I have to watch out for. I do have Rolling Guard on, so maybe I shouldn't roll around as much in case I actually like need to use it. But you can always recast your second ability once it's up. So as long as you have your energy efficiency up, you're good to go. I can charge through people to, you know, do some damage there. Recast my Iron Skin, hit Stomp, and then boom, 20,000 Overguard this time because I was taking a lot of damage while I was having invulnerability time, and then you build up that damage and turn it into overguard. That's why it's a nice idea to have more armor on Rhino. I purely just don't care for it, but that is why it's a good idea to have more armor, so that your armor stacks up higher. You get even more overguard. People have gotten like capped out amounts of overguard multiple times using Rhino. It's not hard because of how he works, right? Just stand here, absorb all the damage, and then go and kill everyone. I didn't actually take that much damage that time. What about this time? Yeah, it seems maybe a little higher. So you just have to make sure to watch your overguard. Make sure you're not getting knocked down and killed. Well, not knocked down, because you can't get knocked down. But make sure that your overguard isn't getting knocked down and you're getting killed or anything like that. But again, since it's an instantaneous refresh, you just hit your second ability the second all of your overguard is off, and then you build it right back up. So it's one of those things where as long as you're paying attention, you're okay. And if not, that's why we have rolling guard, so that you can quickly spam your roll to try to not die. Right? So it's like, oh, my frigging overguard's gone. Hit it again. Boom, it's back. Beginner frame, Warframe, OP. So that's the generals of how to use Rhino and why he's such a good Warframe. I don't really use his AoE stomp that much, but it is still a really good AoE if you want to build for it. It's just not something that I focus on too much. So take that what you will. It is still a decent enough, though, stun area effect ability. So that is my Rhino Prime. That is how I use Rhino Prime. Other people have a lot of other different builds for him, so you can always just do whatever you like. More range if you want to hit more AoE, less range if you don't care, more strength and duration just to be selfish. You can always helmet on different abilities to make him even more of a god. So yeah, do it if you so choose. Thank you all for watching, subbing, liking. I do appreciate it. But hey, that's my Rhino Prime, baby. And hopefully he is pretty decent for you too. So if you like the video, you can always use Epic Games creator code Pupsker, like, sub, or check out any of the social medias such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc., all in the description below. I also stream on Twitch sometimes. I just have kind of a cold right now, so my throat hurts, so I'm not streaming right now. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Cheers.